What's up, y'all? What's poppin'? We're back with another Sweep the League podcast. You know the drill. We got the almost a full crew here. Mine is Derek Dervin. He's a busy guy, but we always miss him and love him. We hope to hear from him soon, but we got the full crew tonight. We're going to be talking about NFL. A big trade happened. Well, kind of a big trade. I don't like the guy. Hook him. OU sucks. But we're also going to be talking NBA free agency, NBA trades.
Really? You got to be unbiased during this shit. Come on, man.
Some Spurs Chiefs, man, and some sweeper keep, man. But before we get going, we got Shemaiah Reed. We got some Mark over here, Mark and Stats, and Ravish and Rudy Campos. What's up, guys?
What's up, man? What is up, dude? You're taking the lead tonight. I'm actually I got put on the bench, so I'm basically the sixth man tonight.
Nah, dude, we're all starting, man. We got I'm my Josh Primo. You're my Vassell. We got lockdown Kelly.
Wow, I've really been downgraded to Vassell.
Oh,
that's fucked up, man. That's really fucked up.
Dude, Vassell's cold. He's up and coming.
He is.
He's ripped, man. He looks good.
Man, okay, yeah, he is ripped. He really is ripped. But I'm not that ripped yet. I'm not rock ripped, to put it that way.
For sure. But you are ripped at one thing. And before we start, get into diving into sports, I just want to congratulate Mr. Rudy Campos and his team who won yesterday. Dude, what a baller, man. I saw he won some big money, dude. I hope you take us somewhere out nice to eat, a Sleep the Lead dinner. I'll be expecting, some good Taco Cabana, maybe have some rats on the side. So
yeah. I was thinking Taco Cabana at first, but then I'm going to upgrade y'all to either Las Palapas or Mama Margie's after that win.
Dude, I don't mind some fried rats on the side, man. Or we can go to Tinka Taco and get a cockroach in our taco.
That is disgusting, man. Here I am trying to eat my dinner, which consists of green beans, and you're talking about rats and roaches. That's not a good combo.
I've always wanted to try those new Taco Cabana rat flautas that they have there.
Oh,
the deep fried rat meat, man.
Heard they're extra furry, dude. You can ask for extra furry or extra tail on the side.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
How does this health inspector not shut them down? I mean, I guess they shut them down for a day, but
hey, man, we're in tough times, man.
We're in tough times, so we got to eat rats. I don't think we're that bad off, are we?
Well, gas is apparently back under $4 in some places, so.
Exactly, dude. I don't have to walk anymore, dude.
Yeah.
I've been struggling out here. It's so hot, dude. I'm just trying to burn all these calories, and now gas under $4, so it looks like I'm gonna be driving again.
Just shave, you'll lose weight that way.
You're just jealous of my beard, dude. I get it, dude. I've been using minoxidil. All right.
All right, man. Let's get it going, brother. What do you got?
So, like I said, man, first thing we're going to dive into is some NFL, man. A big trade, even though you said I am biased. But finally, the quarterback that does suck still from Oklahoma, Mr. Baker Mayfield, finally got freed from the Browns. Today, he got traded to the Carolina Panthers for a 5th-round pick that can turn into a 4th-round pick. I want to get your thoughts, man. What do you think of the trade, and what do you see the future for both teams?
Well, the Browns is obvious. You have Deshaun Watson. It looks like he's going to probably get – well, okay, first off, has the Watson verdict come out yet? Or is it still pending? Okay, so I really think he's going to get a season ban, basically, suspended for a year, but then something tells me that he's not. He's going to actually play. And that's why the Browns made this move. And we're okay with trading Baker right now. I think they wanted to get some clarity on what was going to go on with Deshaun. So I think the Browns are on the right path. I still think the receiving core is not great. You have Amari Cooper, but still, I think if you're looking at who's going to be the better of the two teams, I think it's kind of a push, man. Baker makes the Panthers a little bit better. Better than what they had at quarterback right now. But, you got Christian McCaffrey. If he can stay healthy, that'll be kind of a good 1-2 punch for the Panthers, as well as the receiving core with Robbie Anderson, who hates Baker Mayfield as much as you do, apparently. DJ Moore, I believe, is still there as well. So, I guess all in all, the future probably is better for the Panthers, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And don't forget to add Terrence Marshall in there, man, from LSU. They got a nice squad, but they did say it's gonna be a little quarterback competition. So Baker's gonna earn the job from Sam Darnold.
Is Matt Rule still the coach there?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So then he hates Baker too, right? That's the whole Big 12
pretty much,
thing
man.
Back in the day.
Yeah, we are gonna dive into some realignment talks with the whole Big 12 thing as well. That's what I forgot to mention, but Yeah, he does. He probably does hate Baker, but I view this as a desperation move. But how about you, Stats? How are you feeling about it? What do you see the outcome of each team? And do you feel like the Browns essentially lost? Because in a sense, I saw a tweet today where someone broke it down saying the Panthers had a quarterback who took him to the playoffs with Baker Mayfield. As much as people criticize him, took him to the playoffs, gets injured, has a down year, and then just kicks him with the curb. This guy took you to the playoffs, and then you trade for essentially a quote unquote, like people say, a sex offender, and now you get barely a 5th round pick. How do you feel about the trade, and what do you see like the future of both teams?
I think this was a solid trade on both sides. Although the Watson thing is interesting because I feel like he's going to be suspended for a season, no matter what happens. Because I just think they're going to see that as the right thing to do, given those circumstances around Watson. So in them trading Baker is interesting. But I think this really helps. I mean, I think both teams do win in a sense because they get Baker off their squad, the drama between the organization and him. But I think the Panthers really win in this one the most. I mean, if we had to choose a side that won the most out of this, I think the Panthers really won. Sam Darnold wasn't consistent. I don't think they're ready to ship out Coral out there in the starting lineup. So I think Baker's going to provide that consistency. He's going to be healthy. They don't have to rely too much on him throwing the ball that much with CMC there, as long as he can stay healthy. And of course, DJ Moore's production is probably going to go through the roof next season, just because he finally has a quarterback that is a little more consistent than what Sam Darnold had to provide. Most consistency they have right now on the roster. So I think the Panthers are going to look good. Horn's going to come back he's going to be back from his injury on the defensive side of the ball. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers made the playoffs next season.
Better fantasy option, Robbie Anderson or DJ Moore?
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. He's gonna catch a lot of balls.
Man, I don't know why, but I think Robbie Anderson is gonna be that PPR king on that team right there.
I just DJ Moore has shown such consistency every year, and Robbie Anderson, he just burned me all the time. I mean, I know he had some decent years, but DJ Moore has always been that guy, no matter what quarterback they've thrown out there. To me,
wouldn't Robbie Anderson be like the Jarvis Landry of the team though? And Baker had more success with like a wide receiver too.
Yeah, that does make sense, but like I think a sleeper could be, like I mentioned, was Terrence Marshall. I mean, he's going to be the number 3, and he's going to be entering the 2nd or 3rd year, I think. But I mean, he's a good player, but we'll see if Christian McCaffrey helps Baker Mayfield out, because he could arguably say this is probably the most talented running back Baker's ever played with. I mean, Nick Chubb is up there, but I think Christian McCaffrey's better
when he's not injured.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, he's a monster. Yeah. He's a freak of nature to me.
Yeah. And he'll help out of the backfield, too. You could catch a lot of passes, too, from Baker, like to the point where they could be short passes for long yardage.
That's a fucking stat. That's a fucking stat right there. That is true.
It really protects Baker because it doesn't pressure him to have to throw the ball as far. So I think it only protects him, and it will give him his confidence, too. It'll help him rebound. And ultimately, I think this is a nice, fresh start for him. I think he needed a fresh, scene, a new environment. And I think he's going to go out there and, show his new teammates that he wants to be there and play, because he wants a fresh start. So
when he comes to Atlanta, I hope he has that flag in his hands. I can tell him where to stick it.
I'm dead. But staying with football, man, like I mentioned, realignment talk. So it was reported this past week that powerhouse schools out of the West Coast, USC and UCLA, are going to be jumping ship and heading to the Big Ten. It's caused a lot of controversy around the college football world, and there's been rumors around, Notre Dame leaving the ACC as well, possibly going to the SEC, or they're jumping ship and joining the Big Ten as well. And a lot of people agree that it's a good thing that if those 2 teams leave, but then you're going to leave the rest of the Pac-12 teams out of there. I've seen all over Twitter, Oregon, Washington or Arizona State jumping to the Big 12. And it's just a big thing, a big parity happening around college football, because now you're going to see these big power conferences, and a lot of people are going to be left out of the playoff essentially. And that makes the argument of should they go to an 18 playoff. So I want to get y'all's thoughts on the possible moves that are going to be happening, whether they materialize or not, and what do you see the future of college football?
I'm going to let Stats start this one. Stats, you go first.
Yeah, I want to keep this one actually short because I like what you brought up, the idea of increasing the playoff to 8 teams. I really like that idea, especially considering what you just said, with it being a little tougher to get in. I really like that idea, and I think people have been saying that for a few years now to push it to 8. And I think giving more teams a chance would definitely help. And teams that aren't like scrubs, they're all pretty good. So, if you can make it into the top 8, that's something. And it helps give those teams that were on the fringe, let's say outside of the top 4, a little extra motivation to get in. And hey, like we have a chance. It gives schools, it gives whole organizations a chance to compete on the grandest stage in college football. So I really like that idea. And that's mainly the thought that I wanted to kind of talk about because I really like that idea.
It's a great idea. But I'm going to give you this insight. And again, I don't know a lot of shit on this because, the way I think sometimes is kind of like negative somewhat. But doesn't this affect teams like UTSA and those teams that say, a Boise State, that you have, miraculous seasons. You're trying to get into, the top 8 to get into, one of the big bowl games or something like that. But now if you're getting these super conferences and you're getting, what you had, the Pac-10, Big 12, ACC, SEC, you had all these major conferences, the Big East and all this stuff, Big 10. You've got all that. Big East was college basketball, I'm sorry. But Big 10, all these conferences, if you're going to start making 3 super conferences, you're going to limit the amount of teams in the lower, the ACCs, the AACs, Mountain West, all this other shit you got, you're going to limit those teams from getting any chance at the top 8 because now you're looking at, okay, we have, Norfolk State in the SEC. Well, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt because if they go out and beat an LSU and they go out and beat a Tennessee and stuff like that, their schedule is harder than a UTSA team whose biggest win came off of, Texas State. So that's where I think this realignment kind of sucks. If I'm UTSA or if I'm any of these other little schools, and they're not little, but the lower end schools, I'm pounding at the doors to get into one of these super conferences. It's going to help you with recruiting. It's going to help with your strength of schedule. It's just going to help your program altogether. Get away from this little bullshit, little conferences. Do your justice, do your due diligence, get into one of these conferences. That's the reason why I don't like this alignment thing at all, because now you're going to see what USC and UCLA, can they even play in the snow? We're about to find out. And that's something that when you go to USC, if you're a top QB and you're a California boy, last thing you want to do is go play 2 or 3 games in the damn snow. You're going to USC for a reason.
No, exactly. And I agree 100% with you on that. It's going to suck for UTSA going to the AAC this next year. And essentially, if they want to go to, say, like a Big 12, if the Big 12 stays afloat, the bottom line is they're going to have to get money for it. As much as some people don't really support the team in San Antonio, I know a lot of people have shown support, but I've seen also on the other side that don't really show support. And before even UTSA got good, I know a lot of student body didn't really support the team. They would, complain, why are we going to hire the tuition just for a damn football team? Who cares about the team? But essentially, if you want UTSA to move, they need money. And that's like the problem that's been happening to AAC. They need triple their money. So imagine if they go to a Big 12 with the SEC, dude, like they're going to have to get an outside donor from outside of San Antonio or have someone just pocket money. Because, they don't have donors like the UTs of the road and the A&Ms of the road that can just throw out millions like pocket change. It is going to be interesting to me because I think those matchups are going to be really good. You see a USC, Ohio State. But you're right, am I a top QB going to want to go play in 20-degree weather in December? No, I don't want to go do that. But then again, it's like money talks, and college football doesn't really care about the Norfolk States of the road or Cincinnati's. Cincinnati barely got in this year in the playoff.
Do you guys think this is a kind of a question I wanted to ask both of you guys. And Shemaya, jump in on here whenever you want. But do you think this was a bitch move by USC and UCLA because they feel that the Pac-12's not getting really any love at all? Because when's the last time we saw a Pac-12 team, in one of the bigger games?
No, I don't know.
It's been a little while.
Yeah, it
I
has
would say
been
what,
a little bit.
Oregon when they had Jameis?
Probably Oregon. But I mean,
Mariota?
you're
Florida State with Jameis? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're not Pac-12 Florida State.
No, Oregon with Mariota. When they
Yeah.
Oh, there we
Mariota.
go. There we go. Yeah.
But even at that, these Pac-12 teams they necessarily don't get any love. So it's the right move to get recognition, because when you play college football, everybody's awake during the day watching college football. Half the country is not staying up to watch any UCLA or USC game because they come on at fucking midnight on the East Coast half the time. So it's like, okay, you need more recognition. I see the move, but was it also a bitch move to do? Because now you're jumping ship knowing, okay, I needed to go into a bigger conference to get the recognition because we're not getting jack when it comes to these bowl games.
Yeah, 1,000%. Because I mean, those Pac-12 teams, the highest they get, they make the playoffs, the Rose Bowl. I mean, you had Utah in the Rose Bowl this year. I mean, congrats to their really good season. But outside of Utah fans, is anyone really watching Utah football? It's like, But I don't want to stay on football too long because we got a lot to talk about. So we're going to jump to NBA free agency. And the big elephant in the room has been KD and Kyrie trade talks, man. I mean, we saw KD ask for a trade. The whole NBA Twitter went wild. And we've been seeing all these crazy scenarios where, they swap out Westbrook and half the Lakers team just to get Kyrie and KD somehow. But I also want to bring up I saw a report today about the Spurs being a facilitator as a trade. So I want to ask y'all, the idea was what Woj was saying, Westbrook getting shipped out to San Antonio, but essentially land picks. I want to get y'all's thoughts on that.
Westbrook to San Antonio is just a total possibility. But I think it's a total, I got to say it, it's sweep the league. It's a total fuck up the ass if the Spurs really decide to do that, because you get a player who's going to score, who's going to, do whatever you want. He's going to create the turnovers. He's going to basically make you a lottery team. I mean, you already are, but he's just going to make you that much worse. He's going to get you maybe 2 more wins, but it's not going to be worth it. You want to put a good product out there. The product you have right now is nothing but youth, nothing but young guys. Just stick with that. If I'm the Spurs, I'm trying to get Toronto in this deal somewhere and trying to get Siakam somewhere in this deal. If you want to give me, Russell Westbrook, fantastic. But Siakam or somebody else needs to be involved. Why? I can ship Russ later on. Just get him out of here. So I don't like it per se. And I really think overall, and I know the Baller Boys talked about it on their podcast when it came to KD, so I'd love to hear Mark and even Shemai wants to talk about it. But overall, seeing KD say, I want to be traded, again, one of the biggest bitch moves in sports today. I mean, you did it after OKC. You went to the Warriors. Now, because it's not working out in Brooklyn, you want to screw Brooklyn. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. If you can't win on your own, just say, I can't win on my own. I need to be on a super team. Right now, I have more, and I can't say hate, I have more dislike for Kevin Durant if he really pulls this card and moves than I do for LeBron James.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, we kind of like you mentioned, Shemai and we talked about a little bit about the circumstances in Brooklyn, and I get it, Durant didn't play an entire season as one of the years that he was with Brooklyn, but I think again, and we talked about this, I think the James Harden fallout was one of the major contributions to Durant ultimately kind of deciding on this, because they had everything, man. They had a super team. They had coach ready to do their thing. They had a good bench. They had a good roster. And the fact that they weren't able to put the pieces together and get eliminated in the first round, I think that really deterred Durant from really, staying loyal and being like, yeah, do I really want to spend the rest of my prime with this team? Even with Kyrie opting in, that really tells you something. The fact that Kyrie opts in and Durant still said immediately after, actually, Durant's like, nah, I'm out. I want out of here. The Nets haven't been the most organized team in recent years. I mean, they've had injuries, and Durant, Irving, and Harden barely even played together last season. So that really hurt them. And I think that affected their ability to get some chemistry. But it was more than just that. I think it's just a mounting frustration that led to Durant wanting out. And the Brooklyn Nets have been a mess for the past years. And I think it's finally catching up to them. And here we go. And my biggest thing, and I know we're probably going to talk about destinations here, but the last team I want Durant to end up on is the Warriors, because it would tarnish his legacy. Yeah, he would probably end up winning a few more rings with them, but the fact that the media is going to say, "Hey, like it's true." It's like, oh, you left the Warriors, you won 2 rings, then you decide you want to leave the Warriors because you want to go out and prove yourself, on a different team, fresh faces on the squad, and then that doesn't work out. You demand a trade, and then you go right back to the team that you walked away from initially after you won your titles there to go and try and prove yourself. It's a really bad look for him. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen, thank goodness, even though the Warriors, that's what's scary. The Warriors can actually do this. They have the assets to trade for him. And that just goes to show you how well built this team is in Golden State. And their organization deserves all the credit in the world for all the drafting they've done over these years and team building. But yeah, as far as destinations where I don't want him to go, definitely Golden State.
Ship his ass to Toronto the way the Spurs did Kawhi. I mean, he doesn't have control over where he goes. It's up to Brooklyn. Whoever gives Brooklyn the best deal, just take it. I mean, you heard him the other day. If I go to Miami, I want to play with Bam and Jimmy and Kyle Lowry.
Nah, Lowry's got to be part of that package.
Not only that, Bam has to be part of that package.
Well, essentially, he can't until they move Ben Simmons, because you can't have 2 players on
rookies. Yeah,
deal. So they would have to move Ben Simmons, then they can ship it.
Just throw Ben Simmons in the dumpster. His game is about the same fucking thing anyway.
Shemai, you got any input on us? We haven't heard from you all night.
I don't know. Shemaiah's on the boards, man. We might have to skip Shemaiah tonight.
Soundboard City.
But Mark mentions destinations, and you mentioned the Warriors, and it arguably could be a destination for KD. I've seen the idea where Bleacher Report and other sports writers talked about, you include a Wiggins, Wiseman, Kuminga, and a Jordan Poole for a KD, and possibly say a Seth Curry or Joe Harris. Would do y'all think that would be a smart move for them essentially? And what's a sleeper destination you could see KD going to?
Rude, do you want to go on this one?
On the Golden State thing, let's be real, man. If Golden State's going to gut their team, and I know, they didn't really use Kuminga and Wiseman, a whole lot, but I think you're probably looking at Steph and Clay and, KD. That's going to eat up a crap load of your salary cap. And, you got, you're probably going to end up losing, a couple more players, but you're going to have to go through, okay, back then when you made that deal, you had reliability, like in Andre Iguodala, you had a lot of good veterans there, but you've got so much youth now that those veterans that were there then are getting ready to retire. I don't think Iguodala is going to stick around much longer to do another run with KD and stuff. But I think Golden State is the one trying to make the biggest splash in it. I can't see it possibly going to Phoenix. That whole, DeAndre Ayton thing is one thing to keep an eye on. But a sleeper place I could definitely see, him going. I could definitely see him in Chicago, man. I mean, Chicago has a few assets that they could definitely move. They're re-signing Levine. They've got DeMar under contract. So possibly moving, Patrick Williams, some draft picks. I don't think they've got the guy. I mean, I know Brooklyn wants a superstar in return, but if you get a 3 or 4 team type thing going, they can get a superstar from another team. So I think Chicago's one to maybe keep an eye on. It's kind of one of the long shots for me, but that's where I feel it'll happen.
Yeah, I feel that. I could see it happening too, essentially. I mean, I know Chicago's kind of adamant about keeping Patrick Williams. I know people have eyed him, but they don't really want to move him because he's a really solid young player that's up and coming. So I could really see that happening. And that'd be an interesting team seeing DeMar, Levine, and KD. You keep Vucevic somewhat and Lonzo. But I mean, like you said, it would have to be a 4-team trade if they want a superstar.
Well, Lonzo's the other guy. I think they would be satisfied with Lonzo and Patrick Williams and probably Vujicic, I think would be good enough as long as you get a bunch of draft picks in there. I think that would actually be good enough for them.
Yeah. And is Phoenix still not throwing Booker in any trade package for him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're a moron if you want to include Booker. I mean, why? If you're Brooklyn and you ask for Booker, I'm hanging up the damn phone. I mean,
well, that's why I bring it up, because the Phoenix was pretty adamant about not including Booker, and it sounded like Brooklyn was really wanting him in some sort of package. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to get him, obviously. But that's why I mention it, because, I mean, that could really throw Phoenix out of the running.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Yeah. Before stats goes, it's interesting to me, and I want to get y'all's take on this, is how people are saying, you saw what DeJounte netted you, and you saw what Rudy Gobert netted you. So what is KD's value to you? I mean, are you going to get, say, 6th or 7th picks and players? Or are you going to get more players that have high stat caliber? I mean, it was really surprising seeing Gobert get a lot of value from me, because, I mean, Gobert is good, but what does he bring to you beyond defense? I mean, are you relying on him to get you a bucket? That Karl Anthony Towns and Gobert duo is going to be interesting to see. I know he's just going to be around the rim and Cat can just pop out and shoot threes, but I mean, Gobert's kind of overrated to me. So, like, what is y'all's value for KD? And, do y'all really think that trade is going to be one of the biggest trades in league history?
I'll keep it short. If I'm Brooklyn's front office, I'm looking at the best deal no matter who it's from. I mean, if you got a team that's willing to give you 4 or 5 first rounds, maybe 3 of them unprotected, and a couple of, young prospects that are up and coming, I don't see why you pass on that. I mean, there's no way. I don't care if KD says, well, I don't want to go play in Detroit. Well, motherfucker, I don't care where you want to go play. You're under contract. I can ship you wherever. If, Paris Basket Racing France, decided to give me, $100 million and, 3 prospects, that's on the table. I'll ship your ass to Paris. I don't care. I mean, it's wherever the best deal for the Brooklyn Nets is. I hate the fact that you have players that dictate where they want to go. That is so dumb. I mean, it's a business. If you don't want to be there, fine, don't be here. But I'm going to get everything I can in return and make the best deal possible to keep my franchise going.
Yeah, what's interesting though is because I think a team is going to have to give a lot for Durant, but they might end up getting more than Durant back. Like I think I saw something about a potential trade involving both Durant and Joe Harris in a trade package. I'm like, if you can get both of those two, yeah, like you're still going to give a haul either way for Durant. But if you get a nice little added bonus in Joe Harris, I mean, like that's two. I mean, that's one of the best players in the league in Durant, along with one of the best sharpshooters in the league. That would provide pressure off of KD beyond the perimeter and help him out and help any team. Those two guys would help any team they get traded to. So we'll have to see what other players get packaged in this deal too.
No, for sure. It should be interesting to see. I mean, I'm just waiting for that Woj bomb to pop up or a Shams bomb. I mean, I have it on notifications and I keep checking my phone every time I get a little buzz. I'm like, is it the KD trade yet? And I was really starstruck when the Gobert got traded. No one really saw that coming. So, I mean, I'm just waiting to see if Shams says something about the Spurs or a trade happens. But yeah. But
Utah panicked, dude. Utah panicked on that trade. They got some good value in him, but you could have got a better trade somewhere for Gobert. I mean,
they got Pat Bev, dude.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay.
The best commentator in sports, right there.
Dude, they got Pat Bev, dude, the legend who won the play-in, man. He's a play-in champion.
The play-in champion. I love it.
Dude was crying when Paul George and Kawhi got traded to the Clippers because he thought he was going to win a title. Oh, give me a break.
Remember when he told Steph, I got the next 5 years.
Yeah, I got the next 5 years. That's what, 5 different teams.
5 different teams. Yep. Oh, that's beautiful. Funny.
But before we get to Sweep and Keep, we have one more segment. It's the iconic Spurs Chisme. And in today's Spurs Chisme, I wanted to talk about the Spurs actually make a move in free agency. It was the biggest move that every fan expected, of course. And we got Isaiah Roby. Some fans were happy. Some fans were confused about who the hell this kid is, but I think it's a solid signing. He's going to be a good depth at the front court, and he could be a low-key, really, possible defensive standout that the Spurs thrive and love. So what are y'all's thoughts on Isaiah Roby, and do y'all think they're going to go after anyone else?
Yeah, their offseason is not done yet. I mean, I still think you're going to possibly see Jakob on the move as well as Doug McDermott. May not be in the offseason, but it'll definitely be by the trade deadline. But I'll let Stats go on this a little bit longer. I just want to say I did a podcast with Jeff Garcia from Ken's 5, and we talked about Isaiah Roby on it. I did it earlier this morning. It'll be out tomorrow. Isaiah Roby's Malik Rose, man. If you can get him a consistent jumper, he's Malik Rose. He makes sense. He gives the little things that are going to help the Spurs win a game or two. The guy put up 30 points against Portland this year. I mean, he's had a couple of 20-point games as well. He played great against the Spurs. He's an inside presence. From, 0 to like 5 feet, the guy shoots like 90%. I mean, he's a guaranteed bucket. So great guy, great kid. If you get him a little bit of a jumper, consistent jumper, I mean, he shot like 44% from threes, but he didn't really shoot very many threes. Get a little consistent jumper. I mean, shit, man, you got Malik Rose right there.
So with that being said, Rudy, do you think he can be a consistent piece that the Spurs can have on the team long term?
I think so, man. I mean, the kid may not be a starter with the squad, but he's definitely going to be, 6th, 7th man off the bench. I mean, it just depends on his development with the team. I wasn't shocked with the Gorgie Deng signing because I thought, okay, they need depth there. But right when they signed Roby, I thought, okay, that kind of tells me somebody's on the move possibly. So they're going to need to secure that depth at that position. But it's a good problem to have. I mean, you have Jakob, Zach Collins, Deng, now Roby, you have Jeremy Sohan. You got 5 guys that can play the power forward, even the center position. It's a good problem to have, but that tells me that one guy is definitely on the move somewhere, and it's probably going to be Jakob.
I completely agree with you on that. And I think after the DJ trade, a lot of people kind of saw Jakob as being next on the trade block there, or, to be shipped out. So,
Yeah, and I feel like Jakob's going to net you the most return. I mean, yeah, you can say you can trade a Doug McDermott or Josh Richardson, but what are you going to get in return for that? I mean, that's essentially just a salary cap, means salaries for a team if you go do a trade. But I mean, Jakob's going to get you the most return. You get some picks possibly in next year's draft or future drafts. But I also saw that Isaiah Roby as a good pickup, and possibly someone could be moved. I mean, it's going to be interesting to me who's going to be starting at the 4 and the 5 next year. Maybe Gorgie Deng starts, given with that signing, if Jakob does get moved. And I wonder if the Spurs really implement Sohan right away, or they keep Doug and implement that. I was kind of talking about with my friends. And I mean, I personally predicted a lineup that they run this year was Primo, Vassell, Keldon, and Zach Collins, and then Gorgie. I mean, I feel like Jakob's going to get moved, like I mentioned, and Sohan's not going to be implemented yet. He's going to be seeing a lot of G League. But I think, we could see some development and a standout player from Roby itself. But
yeah, for sure.
Nonetheless, we're going to be going to Mark's iconic game, sweep or keep. We know the drill, so I'll let Mark take the flow and get it going, brother.
All right, gentlemen. And for those of you listening for the first time, welcome to Sweep or Keep, the game where we decide if we like something that is trending in the news, or something that was tweeted out, or some news that just popped up on ESPN or something. And we keep it, which means we like it, or we sweep it, which means we think it's trash and crap. So, gentlemen, let's begin Sweep or Keep here on Sweep the League. So let's begin. Let's start with some Bears. Mitch Trubisky says he watches The Last Dance before every road game to replicate MJ's mindset. Sweep or keep?
Oh, God. So I watched MJ's The Last Dance a lot.
Rocky's losing it.
And I mean, I can't even come close to, getting anything that Jordan ever did, basketball wise. But I'm going to sweep this because I think what Mitch is doing is trying to save face, being a top quarterback being selected in the NFL draft. You still got to keep, I guess you still got to save face. I really can't answer much for Mitch here other than get off Jordan's jock. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's just, good luck, Mitch. But anything you watch on The Last Dance, I mean, you're not going to really get any kind of motivation or anything on that. Completely different sport, completely different mindset. Jordan's the GOAT of the NBA, and you weren't even the GOAT at North Carolina. So that's pretty bad right there.
Oh man, I'm gonna sleep that too. I mean, maybe Mitch was watching a part where MJ beat that security guard a lot of times, so maybe he got inspired by that and he wanted to get beat by other teams a lot of times. So that's what his mindset is, man. I mean, he got beat by a lot of teams in his time in Chicago, and now he might get beat out in Pittsburgh by Kenny Pickett. So
I don't even think Mitch could beat his meat, to be honest with you. That's how bad Trubisky is.
Woo, we took a left turn right there, man.
Oh, only on Sweep the League. Only on Sweep the League, folks. All right, guys, are you ready for the second one? All right, so this is going to be okay. So the way that I'm going to word this is going to be more of a question, a different kind of question, I suppose. So yes is going to be keep, no is going to be sweep. So let me just ask. It's going to be basically a yes or no type question. So there's a tweet that came out. Should the Jazz retire Rudy Gobert's jersey? Sweep for no, keep for yes.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say keep. Go ahead and retire it. I mean, what is he? 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he's a 6-time Defensive Player of the Year, 4-time All-Star. Or four-time All NBA, 3-time All-Star, and 3-time Defensive Player.
So he's going to make the Hall of Fame. I mean, I would suggest, you probably would retire his jersey. But then again, I mean, it's Utah. I don't know what to say, about Utah. I've never been there. I know, Malone and Stockton are the best players to come out of Utah. I'm just going to say retire the damn jersey. He deserves it. Yeah, he didn't get you a title, but neither did Malone and Stockton, and their jerseys are hanging up there. So just retire it. I mean, you got to celebrate something in Utah, right? There's not much to celebrate in Utah. They stopped serving alcohol at like 5:00. So, I mean, you got to celebrate something.
You celebrate Mormons, man. Come on.
You celebrate Donovan Mitchell for however few days they have with him there.
That's pretty sad if you're going to celebrate Donovan Mitchell. I mean, again, it's like there's really no other. Celebrate Jordan Clarkson. The guy has more tattoos than they do wins. I mean.
I'm glad you mentioned tattoos because that's a perfect segue for the next one. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you. Welcome. So, gentlemen, here we go. I don't know if you have seen this gentleman's tattoo, but apparently it happened. Aaron Rodgers got his first tattoo.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
I haven't seen it, so let me look it up. Rock me one answer first, but go ahead, Mark.
I haven't looked it up, but go ahead. Keep going. Or is that it? I don't know. I'm scared. I'm looking.
No, you trust me. There's no nudity or anything in it. You're fine. It's kind of out there. And
what the hell is that? I mean, okay, like, is this guy into like astrology or something, or like has his third eye open?
He's A-Rod. I don't know.
All right, so what's the sweep or keep on this? Because I got to get to this. This is really fucking weird.
I'm gonna.
Well, no. What's the question? Are we sweeping or keeping the tattoo?
Oh yeah. Are you sweeping or keeping his? Just the idea of him getting his first tattoo, and if you have the chance to look at it, I guess give it a sweep or a keep.
It, even though it's weird as hell, because I mean, all tattoos have different meanings in a sense. To me, just the lining's kind of cool because I mean, it has a little eye and a little lines and stuff and like constellations, but that's weird as hell, man. A-Rod's a different cat. I don't know, man. That's just weird, but I'm gonna keep it.
Is that what all those years in Green Bay do to you?
I'm gonna go with. I guess I'm gonna go with keeping it. I mean, I'm gonna get my first tattoo. It's not gonna look that fucking ridiculous, but I'm gonna say that right now, it's got to be some kind of montage because you've got the Lions. One of them is like roaring. So let's just say that's like Danica Patrick when their relationship, when she was like just pissed off all the time, yelling at him. You have what, Olivia Munn or Olivia, which was Wilde or Munn? Which one did he date? You remember?
Olivia Munn. Yeah.
Olivia Munn, probably the quiet one. I mean, she was a badass in X-Men when she was what was her name? Psylocke. Was it Psylocke? I don't remember what the fuck, yeah, one of them. And then the eye. I mean, I don't know what the eye has anything to do with. The water on the bottom is the calm. Aaron's a calm, cool dude. He got the flea market fan underneath the water. So, I mean, I don't know what exactly that is going on, but I guess it's Japanese something, whatever. All in all, I don't know. I want to say maybe the tattoo artist was either drunk or high when he did this, because I don't know the meaning. I'd love to get the meaning of it. If we can get Aaron on the podcast, that would be fantastic. I got to get the meaning on this because it's weird. It's weird, but I'll keep it. I'll keep it as his first tattoo.
All right, cool.
What are you gonna get us tattoo before we go to next one?
Me?
Yeah, you say you're a tattoo. What are you gonna get?
I was gonna keep it as a surprise, but I won't no more. So, I guess we're gonna get a little personal here. Disturbed, the band, is like one of my favorite bands, and you know how they have that skull character, I guess, for the cartoon. It's just his face in the hood on my arm, and again, every tattoo has a meaning, and I just, for me, when I was kind of going through some shit way back in the day, it was just something that I just kind of, I guess got, I don't know, something disturbed got me through. It was just kind of weird because it's all, you get the cross and turn it upside down shit, type of music and all that. So I'm like, well, I don't know why this hit me, but it really did. So it's kind of like one of them that I'm going to get is a Disturbed cartoon, the skeleton guy. And then the other one, I vaguely am going to do this one like sometime, but I do want to get the Aztec warrior carrying the woman all across my back. But I want the face to be my face on the Aztec warrior, and Gina, my wife's face, on the woman. So kind of like a nod to, our Mexican heritage, and being that it's funny and shit, I want to do something like that.
Fucking dope, dude.
That's sick, man. And I think that's like the perfect topic to end the show with, because that was
Aztec warriors. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
And I'm actually joking about the Aztec warrior because that's kind of stupid. I'm not gonna do that at all. That's too much. That's too much tattoo and ink. You realize I don't like needles, and I'm gonna have a guy tattoo my entire back. No, hell no.
It's not that bad, dude. Needles are not that bad. You get over it when you get tatted.
Are you like the guy that likes a dominatrix? Because I mean, for me, needles are bad. I can't stand a needle just pounding away at me like I'm a porn star. I'm not gonna go through that.
No, man. I mean, I never liked needles myself, but like when I just got the tattoo, I was like, well, like it is what it is, and I'm ready here. So why am I gonna back out? It just got. It's kind of like an Indian burn. That's the best way I can describe a tattoo, is an Indian burn. If everyone knows what that is, and y'all know what it is.
Wow. Mark, do you have a tattoo?
I do not have a tattoo.
Does Shemaiah? He's even on. I don't know if he's on, but does Shemaiah have a tattoo? I don't even know. I've never asked him.
I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't know.
We know Rock has a tattoo. He got a big old lion on his thigh. So
yeah, I want more tattoos. I want my whole back tatted, my whole legs tatted. So
would you go straight up, blood in, blood out, prison guard or prison cellmate tattoo on your body? Like, what is it? Not magic, but Danny Trejo, the way he's all tatted up like that.
Oh yeah.
In a sense, yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't get my face tatted, like not my neck, because I mean, if my feature entails where I'm gonna be on camera and people are gonna see me, I mean, I don't care like outside of work, but like if I'm gonna be on camera, like I'm not gonna want my whole neck tatted or face tatted and not get hired anywhere. But I mean, if my arms are tatted, my whole back and everything, yeah, I'm down for that. I mean,
dude, say you're the greatest TV anchor, like say you're in Denver and you're like, this is Rocky Garza. And he's like the best anchor, whatever. He can do no wrong. What would it take for you to get a fucking teardrop tattoo? I just show up doing the news. So, a 55-year-old man was shot today. As you're right there with the teardrop tattoo, like he was shot today in East Denver. Authorities say this. Apparently the guy was, a Hispanic male with a tattoo of a teardrop on his eye. And you're just describing yourself left and right, man. You'd be screwed in Denver. That's for damn sure.
See, and that's the thing. I mean, before we have to the show, that's the thing about tattoos, man. Like, as much as I like, wearing, like my short shorts and like getting all tight and whatever. If like I ever committed a crime, I don't think I am, and I hope I never do commit a crime. So heinous. I can get easily identified by my tattoos, man. I mean, I'm fucked if like I do anything wrong. Like they're like, oh yeah, the guy with the thigh tattoos. Like, oh, it's like, oh, I don't know who that is.
All right, perfect segue just to end the show. I want you to end the show here right now. But I'm going to ask y'all a question. If you could commit one crime, what would it be?
I'm robbing the bank like the Netflix show, La Casa de Papel.
Oh my God. Yeah, robbing a bank. I mean, if you could commit one crime, say you won't get busted.
I'm doing a
say you won't get busted. Like this is a guaranteed no bust. Well, what would you do if it was rob? You're gonna rob a bank?
No, but like a money heist. Like I'm gonna be robbing like the National Treasury, like U.S. Treasury.
I don't know why I pegged you for saying you would go for like prostitution or something. I don't know
why. Rudy.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Stats, real quick before we end the show, for rocking in the show, what crime would you want to get away with?
Ripping off the Brooklyn Nets for Kevin Durant.
Wow. Yeah, y'all are going way below here.
Are you going to kill someone, Rudy, or what?
No, I won't kill someone. I've killed our audience already, like half the time on every show. So I'm not worried about it. I'm already, guilty of killing people. If I had to, I would probably rob Fort Knox. Just clean it, wipe it out, be rich forever. Sit in my big chair with a big desk and my Scarface cocaine piles all over the place. Never done it before. Don't do drugs, kids. It's bad. Rock, take us out.
Well, that's a wrap, boys. I mean, hope y'all enjoyed me leading the charge. Hope y'all didn't get too bored with me, but don't forget to give us a like and listen to our show. And also listen to our brother shows with our homies, Mark and Shamaya, the Baller Boys.
Oh, yeah.
And y'all take it easy, man. Stay hard, love hard, and peace out, man.